What is going on, guys? Let's get into this 2-Minute Tuesday. So in this video, I want to talk about how I specifically got professional trials over in Germany or internationally across the pond. I kind of want to break it down pretty quickly, but also give you some detailed response and answers that might help you if you want to do the same thing. So without further ado, let's put the time on the screen and let's get started. So first things first, I am a firm believer that the best way to get any sort of pro trial, to get seen, to get a pro contract is through a connection. Connections are the best way to do this because you have people who are established, who have a lot of connections and trust with pro teams and pro trials and players, and they give their word for you, basically saying, this guy's a good player, trust me, bring him in. And now most of the time pro coaches, if they respect the opinions of these connections, they're gonna bring you in and they're gonna be a lot more likely to see the good in you and sign you and the potential in you because they have somebody else who they trust see something good in you. Imagine the same exact thing but with a movie. One of your best friends that you have the same exact type of humor with comes up to you and says, bro, Matt, you need to watch this movie. It's the funniest movie ever. If you like Step Brothers or Anchorman, you need to go and watch this new movie that's out in theaters right now. You're gonna be like, all right, let's go. I'm gonna buy a ticket. See you later. Because you trust his opinion. This guy knows good movies. I trust in his opinion about good movies. If he's bringing me this new movie that I've heard nothing about, I'm gonna trust him and think that this movie's gonna be good as well and be much more likely to go see it in theaters. So connections in the soccer world work the exact same way as your friend recommending a movie to you. Now imagine this other friend comes up to you and you really don't believe he has the best taste in movies, and he recommends a movie every single day to you and says, you need to check out this movie, this movie, this movie, this movie, this movie, and you go and you watch 2 of the movies and both of them are terrible. You're not gonna really trust his opinion anymore. You're gonna say, look, man, you've recommended so many movies and I'm just not a fan of a lot of them. I'm not gonna watch any more of the movies that you recommend to me. That's exactly how connections work. That's why it's so hard to build connections and people that are willing to vouch for you, because they're putting their reputation and their word on the line. All it takes is for them to recommend one player to one team and that player have a terrible, terrible performance, and then that coach go, what player are you sending me? This guy was terrible. And then all of a sudden his credibility, the credibility of that connection starts to decline. And that's why it's difficult, because these people that are willing to vouch for you have to fully trust and believe in you that you can play at the pro level. But once you have that connection, once you have a few connections that really believe in your ability and can vouch for your play, they're gonna open so many doors for you. And that, I truly believe, is the best way to even enter into this pro game. So how did I go to Germany, thousands of miles away, and still be able to get trials? And actually, I did this, all these trials were kind of built upon this singular connection that pretty much went back all the way from my youth career. When I was about 12, 13 years old, I played for this youth team called Oregon Soccer Academy, which wasn't really an academy, it was just a club team that named themselves an academy. But my coach was a tremendous, tremendous coach. His name was Matt as well, and he helped me develop a ton, and he really trusted and believed in me at a young age. And as I continued to climb throughout my career, he pretty much was like, I believe in you, you can make this jump, you can play pro. That connection back from the youth level and his belief in me as a soccer player through my consistent performances led to another connection of a German coach that was coaching in California. This German coach, his name was Marcus. He came to one of my games, and over the next 2 or 3 years, as I continued to play in college, as I played and developed in the semi-pro level, as I played for the San Jose Earthquakes U23 team and trained with a fully professional team, the bond and the trust between Matt, Marcus, and I definitely grew stronger and stronger. They were willing to put more of their reputation, more of their word on the line, because they believed more and more with each passing day that I could play at the pro level. After I was finished with the 2015 USL season, Marcus approached me and said, hey, I want to bring you over to Germany. I believe in you. I really think that I'm willing to give my word for your abilities to go over to Germany, and I can set up trials for you. So even though I was going thousands and thousands of miles away, I was still following up on all of this based on a connection. I didn't go over there and knock on doors and kind of just approach random teams, which you can do and it can work, but it's a harder route because now you're approaching coaches who are kind of more closed off to you and being like, no, you're not gonna come in, versus Marcus, who'd played over with all these coaches over in Germany and say, hey, I have an amazing player, I think you should come over and I think you should take a look at him. The player's gonna be like, Marcus, I like you, I like your opinion on players, I know you know good players, bring him in. And that's pretty much what happened. He set up trial after trial after trial for me, and he constantly was introducing me to new scouts and new people, and as I was over there and played, more and more people started to see that this guy, you know, this American, can play soccer. He's a good player. And word kind of slowly started to spread. Scouts started to take notice, and I started to kind of bounce around from city to city until I finally found a team that was in desperate need of a player for my ability, willing to pay for a foreigner, willing to deal with all this extra stuff that comes along with bringing a foreigner in. And that's how I developed, and that's how I got pro trials over there. Now, like I have said before, the visa process is very, very difficult, and I kind of cheated my way around that, which I might talk about in a later video. But the basis of this video is how I built up and how I got trials internationally. So I cannot emphasize this enough. If you want to break in the pro game, work on developing these connections with coaches and players and scouts and everything based off of your performance in the game. Shaking hands, kissing babies, all that stuff isn't gonna help. But if you want someone to give their word for you and kind of risk their reputation, they need to believe that you can perform at the pro level, much like you need to believe that your friend has a good taste in movies. So that's the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, thumbs up button, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. How'd I do on time? Boom! Yeah!